we are at a customer's house who wants to build about a 1,000 square foot deck. And along with the deck is about a 500 square foot roof covering with a butterfly vault that will come out. And so here we've excavated for the footings, we've poured the footings, and then we have sonotubes to kind of create the columns that is going to be support the post. So when designing your deck, there's a lot of things you have to take into account. The first one, if you're going to have a roof, you have to design how the roof is going to tie in to the existing roof and what kind of valleys you'll have, if you have to build certain types of crickets. You also have to consider about any protrusions like fireplace, direct vent fireplaces that you have to redirect. And you have to look at hose bibs, how you're going to support it, how it attaches to the house, kind of all those different things to make sure you design it well in the beginning so you don't have to do any rework when you do it. Sometimes when you're putting the footings, you have to deal with things in the ground that you just weren't expecting. Like for example, here we have 3 sprinkler lines that come right across where our footing goes, and we also have this power, this underground power that goes to a pump shed, along with the cable controller, the wire for the controller. So we just have to reroute these around the footing to make them work. So in doing PVC sprinkler pipe, it's really a simple process. Anybody can do it, but there's just a few things you need to make sure you follow so that it's done properly. So we already got our elbows cemented on, and first thing you do is you make sure your pipe's clean, get the dirt off, and then you're going to cement it. And in some conditions you'll use primer first. You want to make sure you gob it on really thick. You're not trying to spare glue or cement. Rub it in there really good, rub it on here, and then push it in. As you push it in all the way, always make sure you turn it about a quarter turn, and just kind of make sure the things are, you got a nice good feel, and that would be great. Is this roof structure that comes up, and this shed roof that kind of goes up and bears onto the roof, we have to put a bearing wall from the top of the existing wall up to support our rafters going across. So what we're doing here is we're cutting out a strip of the roofing so that it can sit right on there. When doing that, when you're cutting through your roofing, you need to make sure you set the depth of your saw to the right depth so that you don't cut through your trusses. You don't want to weaken your trusses any by cutting too deep. So you barely want to cut through the sheeting, through the roof, the asphalt shingles, and then through the sheeting, barely down to the trusses. So you just barely nick the trusses as opposed to cut like a ½ inch out of them. There are lots of ways you can build bench seats, and this is one method that we choose. This one doesn't have a back, and so it has to be really strong as people push on it and jump on it and do all kinds of different things. So what we did with this one is we ran this down through the joist, bolted it twice, and then we built this frame and then supported this frame down onto the decking here. This one didn't need to go all the way through. And so it's really stiff, strong, and so as we run up our pieces, and then we have our frame for the seating, we're then putting carriage bolts kind of through to clamp that together. Nails would hold it for a while, but eventually they're going to work loose.